around some more.
Alright, this is Andrew Jolly with Jota Home Inspections. Today is May 5th, 2021, and we're doing a sewer scope here at 7353 South, 1600 East. We've got the camera pushed out about 108 feet to the city connection. And now we're going to pull it back and record it and see what we find. So this first connection point is called the nose on. That's where it goes from your lateral line into the main city line. That looked like a good connection point there. This part of the pipe is clay. If you look at the bottom, how it has that red terracotta color, kind of the giveaway that it's clay. One item I found here is that you have a fair amount of standing water. You can see a little bit of water there. That indicates that you have either a small belly or a flat spot, and then it's not draining as well on its own. You always want the waste and the water to drain on its own with gravity and not sit in the line. My camera was staying above it for the most part, which is good. And so it's definitely far from the worst that I've seen. But ideally, you don't want to have any standing water. This next section of pipe is cast iron. And so cast iron is usually the weakest link. Downside with cast iron is it gets very rough and rusty, and it can catch on debris and cause a backup. Eventually, cast iron will need to be replaced. I would say this cast looks average for the age. I have seen houses from this era that have already had it done. I also see houses from the 20s, the 1920s that still have it in use. So it can really vary a lot on how long it lasts before you have an issue big enough to replace it. Also, how proactive you want to be. You could consider having cast iron cleaned or coated. That's where they cut a small section off, and that makes it nice and smooth. You can only do it so many times though, because it does thin the pipe out. Again, a little bit of standing water throughout the pipe. Very good. This is still saying 11 feet. And so you can deduct about 10 feet off of that first measurement. I think it was 107, so you're probably 97 feet out, which is pretty average. I always tell people an average length of a sewer line is about 100 feet, which is true here. So just to recap, you have a mix of cast iron and clay pipe, a little bit of standing water that indicates that you have a little bit of poor grade or belly in some areas, but overall pretty good condition. And then you have a fair amount of cast iron, about half the pipe, maybe a little more, that was cast iron, that'll eventually need to be replaced. And one note that I'll add about the cast iron is you want to avoid using flushable wipes or flushing feminine hygiene products down the line. You want to avoid putting anything in the line that you don't have to. So I'm going to end this recording now.